the fear or the upset, then you're open to new ideas. And that's all we're really doing, is opening people back up to the good ideas that they've probably been exposed to anyway. So I love that as that's one of my tools. I'm doing new work called Changing the Corporate Culture in Your Head, which is all about talking to the little voices that tell you can't and how to transform them. So I think there are a lot of different tools. The key thing is to have a tool, whatever it is. And it might be tapping, it might be little voice work, it might be something else entirely. But if you're trying to get by on strategy alone, you've got a car with no engine. You're not working with your full amount of power. So what's your tool or technique that's going to be the best success help you've got?
And do you find that there are certain people who adapt better than others?
I think that resilience is a trait that some people have in greater degree than others, but I also think it can be learned, because I don't feel like when I quit my last job 15 years ago, I was in a very, very safe job, and it was actually a job that I enjoyed, but I thought I would enjoy being a professional musician more. And so I was used to an environment of safety. It does not feel safe to be an entrepreneur. I've actually come to the conclusion after 15 years that it is safer to be an entrepreneur than not to be, but it didn't feel that way at the time, and it hasn't felt that way a lot along the way. So I think that it's really important to create that environment so that you can feel safe and move forward. Not sure if that completely answered your question, but there you go.
No, but that's true. Resilience is very important. And I'm always amazed, however, how some of the people who are the most resilient are people you would least expect it from. I mean, sometimes I see single women who are, not single women, but single mothers, and they're working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs to take care of their kids. And the father has long disappeared and doesn't help at all. And they have the best sense of humor and the best attitude, and I think they've got to be exhausted, and they have got to think, where's my next dime coming from? But they are some of the most resilient people I have met. So I think it comes in a lot of different directions. So if someone said to you, okay, Pamela, what is your best success tip? What would you say?
I would say that the best success tip is to get support. Like, without a doubt, because when I first trained as a coach, when I figured out, I'm going to move from music to coaching, it's going to be great. And I researched a coaching company and I trained as a coach, and I was told, clients will just come to you and all you need to do is know that they're there, and marketing is awful and don't worry about it. And that, for 4 years, I had what I call an imaginary coaching company, the kind where you say you're a coach, you have 2 clients and one of them's coaching for free. And because I thought, okay, marketing is awful, I'm not going to do this. And then finally, after 4 years, when I said, I want to change what I do, I've got to make this work, I went out, I paid $4,000 to go to a marketing event, which was crazy for me. I'd made, like $12,000 a year before. And once I got there, I also hired the most expensive coach in the room. And that was the first year of this business that went to 7 figures in less than 3 years. So now I help others do the same thing. You've got to get support. I don't care if it's me or someone else, but you have to have support.
I totally agree with you. I happen to be, of course, I have always been of the mind of sales and marketing. I love sales and marketing. And you think there's not another way to do it. However, I study it all the time. And just like you, I go to a lot of conferences. I go to a lot of workshops. And I have several coaches myself. And it's really interesting to see, and they don't all agree. They don't all agree with each other, and they bring you different points of view. What you have to do, and I think you said that before, is find the right coach for you, the one that really resonates with you and makes you feel like you are really a good pair. So how do you do that, Pamela? I'm sure there are people who come to you and you know that you're not a fit, or you know it's not going to work. How do you determine that? And then how do you either tactfully turn people down, or how do you say, you're turning away business, and nobody likes to do that?
Well, I hear you asking 2 separate questions, and I want to make sure that I address both of them. One is, how do you know if someone's not a fit as a client? The other is, how do you know what the support is that's right for you?
Right.
And here's what I would say. How do you know if someone's not right for you as a client? Number one, you do your due diligence and make sure that what you're offering can support someone in their position. Number two, you go intuitively on your gut and say, do I feel like when I talk to this person, do I feel like this is a huge amount of work and a huge energy drain and it's not fun? Because if you feel that way with someone, I don't care how much you need the money, you're going to pay more in the end for having that client. So that's from the service point of view. From the who do you choose as a mentor, I've actually looked for a couple of things, and this is the way I've tried to create my programs, is I believe that you need to have a moral connection. Like your mentor should be a moral compass for you. It's very hard for me, and it's not possible for me now, to work with a strategy coach who has a moral compass different than mine. If I don't like the way they do things, I can't work with them. So the moral compass has to be there. They have to be great strategists. But for me, and this is a decision for everyone else, is how well do they use intuition? Because I think that the strategic part and the emotional part are both important in business. So find someone who actually knows how to do that and has the moral compass that you want.
That's so true. That's so true. Make sure that the moral compass, the ethics, all of that are really in line with you. Now, your website is not under your name. It's under makeyoursuccessreal.com. Is that correct?
It is. I mean, PamelaBruner.com actually redirects there, but my brand is Make Your Success Real because for me, it's about getting real about what it takes to build a transformational business. I think if the transformational entrepreneurs don't build successful businesses, we're leaving hordes of people in the world unhelped and untransformed, and I don't want to see that. So that's what I'm about. Let's get the transformational entrepreneurs to have successful businesses so the whole world improves.
Fantastic. So if you're trying to get a hold of Pamela and you're trying to find her, go to her website, makeyoursuccessreal.com, because there's a lot of information for you there, and there's a lot of things that you can check out about Pamela. Now, we have just a few minutes left. Is there a particular message you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Yes, very much so. That it's okay to want whatever you want in life. And if you want to create a successful business, great. If you want to have a business that's got work-life balance, great. If you want to create a hobby as a business, that's okay too. Just whatever you create, make sure that not only is in alignment with your values, but that there is no victimhood in it, that you're taking 100% responsibility. Because I see people saying things like, well, I want to build a bigger business, but nobody out there will hire me, or the world just isn't ready for me, or something like that. No, if you want to build that business, there is a way to do it. Find the help to do it. And if you want to have a business that's $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a year, and that's all the bigger you want to grow, then claim it, because it's not a moral failing to do that. It's just a choice. But I see people often caught at one end wanting the other and not sure what to do. So make a choice.
That's great advice. Well, my guest has been Pamela Bruner, who is a business coach, and she is an author, speaker, and an EFT expert. Her website is makeyoursuccessreal.com. And this is Dr. Gail Carson, thanking you for listening to Women in Business, the show that brings you entrepreneurs and owners of businesses and senior managers. Did you enjoy this week's show? Then join us next week for more exciting and informative guests on Women in Business. I would love to hear from you as to the people you'd like to see on the show, questions you might have for me. So you can email me at Gayle, that's Gayle, Carson13 @gmail.com, or go to my website, spunkyoldbroad.com.